What's up, everyone? Cyclops with Paramount Cyclops here. And if you care about the United States, then you need to watch this video. The Biden-Harris administration scandals are going to make the Trump administration scandals seem like elementary school playground politics in comparison. I'm going to drop some rapid definitions of some individuals that you need to know in order to understand the corruption and how deep the corruption goes, and that there is, in fact, a lot of evidence proving it. Now, let's get into this. It's a lot of resources here, a lot of different resources. So, from the New York Post, I'll read a little bit, and then we'll get the name, and then you'll get the information. And you need to know who these people are. Senate Republicans issued a supplement Thursday to their recent report on Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings, and said $6 million in wire transfers further ties the son of President-elect Joe Biden to China's communist government. The 5-page addendum focuses on former federal official John Robinson, or Rob Walker, who's described as a longtime business associate of Hunter Biden. Walker has also been accused of warning TB, because we can't say his name, but I will be mentioning him later, who was formerly a business partner of both Walker and Hunter Biden, not to go public with information about their commercial affairs. Eric Sherwin, he was the president of Biden's firm Rosemont Seneca. He is the individual who had sent an email warning to not disclose anything in the public as well, and that everything should be face-to-face, and Biden hid $400,000 in payments from Burisma. John Sandwig, very critical against ICE, also involved in Hunter Biden as a business dealing individual. Lots of different deals have gone there. James Gillian, citing documents given to Fox News, the text message to TB from James Gillian. Now, TB is a whistleblower. We will get into him in just a second. Another player in the proposed scheme said, "Don't mention Joe being involved. It's only when you are face-to-face. I know you know that, but they are paranoid." Okay, so he sends this. Mr. James Gillian sends this. How does that not sound weird? They're paranoid. What are they paranoid over? It's just a business dealing, right? Only do face-to-face? Why? That sounds nefarious. Let's move on to the next player. TB, the individual who must never be mentioned, said in a news conference before Thursday's presidential debate that Hunter Biden consulted with his father about a venture with now bankrupt Chinese oil company CEFC, China Energy. Mr. B was also reportedly a partner alongside Hunter and Joe Biden's brother, James Biden. Now this guy's a real winner. Devon Archer was convicted of defrauding the Oglala Sioux Indian tribe out of bond sale proceedings. He fought the conviction, but a court reinstated the fraud conviction and securities fraud, as well as I can't remember the name. When he planned to do a crime, conspiracy. There we go. Conspiracy, as well as conspiracy. Now, all these individuals are Hunter Biden's former business partners. Nice group of people, isn't it? Now, let's read the article now that you know the players involved. Republicans say Americans should have been told about Hunter Biden's taxes back in 2019, as it's revealed his attorneys have refused to cooperate with Congress. Starting to get a little bit of questions here, starting to get a little bit of an idea of what the Biden-Harris administration is going to look like. It's going to look a lot worse than Trump's. It's going to be embroiled in scandal. Look, what's developing already? Open your eyes. Get multiple sources. Take your partisan hat off and look at it from a third-person perspective. And tell me that things don't look weird, at least, if not nefarious, outright. Let me maximize this a little bit for you guys and for myself. A Republican senator who has spent a year looking into the business affairs of the Biden family has said that Congress should have been informed. This is from the Daily Mail, by the way. that Hunter Biden was being investigated over his taxes before they considered whether to impeach Donald Trump. And they should have been aware of the China investigation as well. I mean, come on, that's kind of weird. It's kind of odd. Things don't make sense. Ron Johnson, representing Wisconsin, also claimed on Saturday that Hunter's attorneys have refused to cooperate with the committees. Why? They have nothing to hide, right? Didn't Hunter Biden say that he is confident that his tax dealings were up and up, and that his dealings with China were fine, and that there was nothing wrong with it? So why not cooperate and get this behind you and come out to the public and say, hey, look, we cooperated, we helped in every way we could, we have nothing to hide, here you go, we're good guys, vote for us, get us in your government. But no, we get stonewalling, we get no responses, we get hush-hush, and we get questions. And we get a mainstream media and tech giants that don't even let us ask the questions. Hunter Biden, 50, said in a statement on Wednesday that the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware is investigating his tax affairs and that he is taking the matter very seriously and is confident he handled his affairs legally and appropriately. Then why are you and all of your cronies refusing to cooperate? If everything's up and above board, you should cooperate to get it done as quick as possible. By not cooperating, you're simply extending it and making yourselves look as if maybe there's something wrong. Why not cooperate? It was unclear when the investigation began, but Bill Barr, the Attorney General, reportedly knew about it back in the spring. Trump's impeachment hearings began in December 2019, and he was acquitted in February by the Senate. On Sunday, Johnson, chair of the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, said he felt it was wrong that Congress had not been told about the tax investigation. And yeah, it tied into the investigation. His laptop, the information and the emails, they tied into the investigation. It's just, they hit it. Why? Trump derangement syndrome? They didn't like Trump at all? Previous dealings with Biden and it was all planned out before? Who knows? I don't know. But what I do know is they are not cooperating. They didn't cooperate. They did hide information, and that information would have influenced American voters in some way, shape, or form. You can't tell me that it wouldn't have influenced them. He said the authorities were already in possession of Hunter's laptop, which contained emails relating to his Ukrainian business affairs by the time the impeachment hearings began. I'm sympathetic to keeping investigations confidential unless there's an indictment, Johnson told Fox News Sunday Morning Futures. But when you're talking about investigations within the political realm, particularly one that would have affected the impeachment trial of the sitting U.S. president in the U.S. Senate, that should have been relevant information. Yeah, it was very relevant information. Does it not beg to question? Can we not look at things and say, it doesn't seem right? There are things about this story that I would like more information on. There are things that I believe need to be investigated. Why do we not look into it? Why do people fight the investigation so much? If you have nothing to hide, get it done and over with quickly, right? That was before the trial. That was part of that impeachment. We should have known that, he said. Trump was impeached for misusing his office to lean on the Ukrainian government to investigate the Bidens in return for aid. Here was the situation. Trump had heard that there was corruption in Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's camp. There was nothing being done about it. Trump said, why is this not being investigated? If you want us to help you, and you want us to know that us helping you is not going to add to corruption, which in the law it says the president cannot and has all right to hold funds if there's any belief of corruption. It's in the whatever it is. He's allowed to do that. The president is allowed to hold aid if there's questions of corruption. And there were. And he asked for an investigation for that aid. There was nothing wrong with that. He did exactly what a president is supposed to do. We're going to give you millions and millions of dollars, but I think there's corruption. You need to investigate this corruption before I give you this aid. Yeah. Do you see anything wrong with that? Seriously, do you see anything wrong with that? Do we look at countries and we say, oh, they're corrupt, let's give them millions of dollars because they're corrupt? Or should we say, wait, hold on, this is taxpayer money, this is American money, where's the money going? It appears there's corruption. We want that corruption investigated before we give you this money. I personally didn't see anything wrong with that. Trump on Saturday described Barr as a big disappointment after the Wall Street Journal claimed he knew about the Hunter Biden investigation months ago, but did not make it public, owing to Justice Department policy preventing interference in an electoral season. Yes, now that the electoral season is over, though, those investigations will interfere in the actual administration. I would have rather it affected the election than affect the administration, because now the administration is going to be broiled in scandal, and how are we going to get anything done? What's the next 4 years of news going to be like? Well, we can see what it's going to be like. When I met with the Attorney General, it was really talking about the corrupt FBI investigation relating to the Russian hoax. So I don't believe I ever really talked about our investigations of Hunter Biden, which, by the way, we never targeted the Bidens, Johnson said. That whole issue was brought forth during the impeachment. That's when we started expanding our Ukrainian investigation to include his financial dealings, and then when we started seeing all these wire transfers that were connected to Hunter Biden. Johnson and Chuck Grassley, Republican senator for Iowa and chair of the Senate Finance Committee, are jointly investigating the Bidens. So does none of that raise any questions in your brain? Does any of that make you say there are some weird things going on here? Does any of that make you say we should investigate? I think we should investigate. It sounds weird, seems weird, looks weird. Hunter Biden's former business partners, all of them are kind of, well, they don't seem up and up. Not the kind of business people I would want to do dealings with. I'd be afraid that they would stab me in the business back, not with an actual weapon YouTube. I'm talking figuratively. So what do we do? Do we just let this slip on by and say, oh. I mean, this is our administration. These are the people that are going to be making the rules, and look at their past history. Look at the family's past history. My gosh. Anyways, if I have informed you, or at least raised your ears, or made you even scream at the television, or your phone, or your computer in anger because I have touched a nerve, then perhaps give me a like, a comment, a thumbs up, a subscribe. That would be really cool. I would love to be part of your daily information diet. I like to try to disclose information that perhaps others aren't disclosing from an alternate point of view. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.